So guys, welcome back to the channel, part 2 of the mini project. As you know, this is a night project. Where we're at this time is we've managed to get the engine out of the mini. We've started sanding it, trying to find all the rust repairs, which in my case I'm quite lucky. There's not a lot of rust on this car. If we look in the boot, there's a tiny bit on the wheel arch there, as can be expected under the fuel tank. So, as I said on the last video, if you can remember, I was going to do some body mods. So, Marc, who owns the car, has allowed me to get rid of the rear bumper at the minute. And this is only tacked at the minute, but this is a hard job. It's seamed, but there's 3 seams. So you have the valance with the folded seam, you have the boot pan that comes between it, and then you have the rear boot of the car, and then they're all spot welded together. So if any of you guys are going to do this at home, you've literally got to cut the seam off halfway in and sand it back. Don't try and cut it all the way into the boot lip, because you end up cutting into the rear valance skin. Just a little tip. They're not easy, but they look better. So the next step is Mark 1 lights, hopefully. We know it's a 1990, but we're probably going down the road of the rally look. So I'm hoping we're going to put the rounded Mark 1 lights in the back, just to give it a bit of a nicer look. I think the Mark 1 lights are. So also guys, got loads of videos of who's stripping it, time lapse, so what I'll do, I'll get them on. So as you can see, we've started stripping it, all the engine, gearboxes out of the car. We've bare steeled the car the old fashioned way. We've used nitromores and just elbow grease, sandpaper, Y wheels. So as you can see, she's about ready for the coat of epoxy primer. I don't know if you can remember in the first video, I told you about the roof was being bad. And well, I say being bad, I mean it had a sunroof. So I've made a new panel. It's gone in quite nice. We've sanded that. It's not 100% finished, as you can see. The back is a bit low still, so that's going to need a bit of panel beating. And then we'll grind that back to as good as we can, and then that's ready for epoxy primer. We've got a little bit of rust on the car, but I mean, that's a tiny bit there. There's a bit on the sill, there's a bit inside the boot, as you can see there, the daylight. All in all, it's really good shell, a really good shell. And if you remember, I wanted to do some mods on the car. Marc was a bit unsure. I've done a couple. So I've got rid of the rear bumper. We're going to get rid of the battery box as well. So what we're going to do inside the boot with the battery box, we're going to lift the battery box higher, and then we're going to bring the exhaust pipe through the back where the battery box lives. So it's going to come out there, and it will come out the valance. Made these Mark 1 rear lights. What we've done, we've got rid of the old square lights and we've replaced it with these. So I've made some little pockets And what we've done, we've recessed them. Like the Marc ones normally sit outside, we wanted just a little bit of a different look. Let me just put one in there. It's subtle, it's barely going to be noticeable, but that's what it's about. That's what we wanted, people to not really notice the difference. So if you see now what we've done, basically the chrome is just inside the panel now, so when that's sucked back, that'd be dead nice. So I've done both of them. So yeah, that's all in. They look really smart. There's a couple more mods I want to do. So we don't need all these holes for a start. We only need 2 of the holes for wipers. It's not a left-hand drive car, so we don't need the clutch and the brake system. A few of these holes can go. Just tidy the bay up a little bit. I'm looking forward to it, to be fair, the next little few bits. We're going to do something quite cool with the front bumper. I'm not quite sure yet. We're going to leave the front bumper, but we're going to do something quite cool with it. Let me know your thoughts on it, guys. What you think we should do with the front bumper, how we're getting on with the project. Do you like the backlights? But remember, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, ring the bell, tell your friends. Goodbye. Let's talk about the Mini. Ta-da!